timers like me. I don't know if any of you are aware of this, but I made videos, I think last year, referring to low testosterone and men my age. I'm 48 now. I had my testosterone checked. I'll just go over it again in case you're not familiar with the video. I had my testosterone levels checked last February of 2018. And they were like in the minus. So it was extremely low. So I booked an appointment to see a specialist. And by the time I seen the specialist, I had already lost probably, at that point, 35, 40 pounds from the time I was tested. And my levels, I was able to raise my levels a threefold, which I was only able to raise them to about 100, 185, I believe, somewhere in there. And for a healthy young man, you're looking at ranges between 500 and 1,000. So I'm still pretty fucking low at that time. But the really shitty thing is it wasn't low enough for testosterone replacement, which was fucking bullshit. Because we function better, men function better with testosterone, lots of testosterone in our body. So I was pretty pissed off about that. So your only other option is to buy testosterone on the black market. Testosterone is different than anabolic steroids. You do use them in conjunction with each other, but I want to get into the whole anabolic steroid part of it. But synthetic testosterone you inject will raise your levels, but it will suppress your own testosterone production. Like, that fucking matters anyways at this point, right? For us, if our testosterone is low, it's just fucking low. So it doesn't matter if we put something synthetic in and we stop producing our own testosterone, because we're gonna have it in there. So that's why you hear young men shouldn't be doing anabolic steroids or testosterone, because they're already producing a shitload of testosterone. They don't need any more, but we won't start talking about anabolic steroids, but I'm just trying to give you an outline of what I'm trying to talk about. So the question is, how have I been doing with my low testosterone? How has that been working out for me? And we'll get to that in a second, because that's what this video is about. Now, one more thing I want to talk about before I get into what's happening with me. There's lots online about how to increase your body's own testosterone production. Wait, I want to talk about this other thing first. I want to talk about testosterone levels first. So about, I think the last video I talked about testosterone, I mentioned that I read an article on testosterone spiking in men. Basically, which means is, even though you have low testosterone when the time you get tested, there's times where your testosterone may spike. So there might be times where my testosterone had spiked up to 500 or 600, but I don't know, because that's not when I got tested when it happened. So obviously the body is quite the complex machine. So just because you tested low doesn't mean that throughout the day or through heavy training or diet or exercise that it does at some point during the day spike. So I felt a little not so down about the situation. Now I'm talking from a muscle building standpoint. I'm not talking about anything else right now. I'm just talking about as far as building muscle. I was disappointed because obviously that's what I'm trying to do. So I had to think about it, because I've been, I want to start taking testosterone and anabolic steroids for working out as well, right? But first we want to concentrate on our health and make sure everything's working fine before we venture down that path. So I stopped and I thought about it. I said, okay, well, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to see what I can accomplish without anabolics or testosterone therapy to see if my progress and what I gain in muscle naturally coincides with my low testosterone. So we're gonna work out. I gave myself a year, so I'm gonna see what kind of gains I can make in a year without testosterone injections or anabolic steroids, and we'll see if that fits the narrative of having low testosterone. So yeah, so we'll definitely put that on hold, because I was pissed off. I'm like, fuck, how am I gonna build any muscle? Of course I can look good and I can feel better, you know, but I'm not gonna be able to achieve my goals without those testosterone injections, right? You know, because that's the baseline for us, man. So let's get on to how I've been feeling, if I noticed any difference in my with the having low test. When I was overweight, compared to when I lost a lot of weight in September of last year, so when I lost that 50 pounds, there definitely was, I noticed a difference. So now we're talking about how I'm feeling with this, how I'm actually feeling now, not so much about the gains, muscle. We're talking about how I'm feeling biologically about it. I definitely noticed a huge difference once I lost the extra fat I was carrying. Of course, from an energy standpoint, confidence standpoint, you know, I've always had a very, very high sex drive, but I could say that it definitely increased once I've lost the weight and my testosterone production naturally went up. Now, I haven't had my testosterone levels checked since February last year. I want to wait till probably the summer when I'm at my leanest, and take it from there, because I'll have a year of training under my belt, and I'll be really lean, and it's been 1 year, so I think I'll have a better baseline if I wait till then. There's a lot of things on the market, testosterone boosters, things to eat, and stuff like that. I'm not too crazy about the testosterone boosters that supplement companies offer. The reason I say that, because if they really worked, then my specialist would have prescribed them for me, and she did not. So she would have known if there's anything that increases your testosterone as far as bodybuilding supplements. So I would say stay away from all that fucking shit. You know, I wouldn't trust it. Fine, you want to waste your money, go ahead. I'm not wasting my money. The ways I've found that I've definitely noticed a difference in my testosterone. Now you guys are saying, well, how do you know the difference if you didn't get it tested? I'm going based on fucking what's happening down there. You know, frequent erections, sex drive, the urge to fuck, you know, I'm gonna wake up in the morning with a fucking raging heart on, you know, dreaming, you know, that kind of a thing, you know. That's where I'm referring to when I say I feel a difference. I definitely feel a difference when I take in too many sugar and carbs. There's a difference in sex drive. So obviously that coincides with testosterone. I would logically think. However, I find if you're only taking lots of sugar and carbs and you're not training hard, then I would see a difference. But if you're training hard, I'll give you an example. If I'm doing really hard, give us an example. If I have a days where I'm doing back or deadlifts or squats, those really, you know, those days where, you know, it takes a lot out of you, you know, I'll get home from the gym, I'll be fucking watching my movie and eating my post-workout meal. I want to fucking take my dick and drive it into the fucking wall, man. You know, it's fucking, I stop the movie, stop beating, go in the fucking washroom, friggin' relieve myself there, you know. So it's definitely, that tells me that you know, when you work out really hard, like really heavy compound movements, like squats and deadlifts, things that take a lot of effort to do, like you're moving heavy shit, I definitely notice a difference when I get home from the gym on those days, in my libido for sure, and just how I feel in general. I find with the addition of cardio, cardio's been making a difference for that as well. I'm just trying to. Yeah, it's. I know the literature says that if you do too much cardio is not good for testosterone production. I was reading something about the hormone cortisol. It's like the opposite of testosterone. It actually hurts your muscle. I wouldn't be too concerned with that, guys. You know, just getting to the gym, eating better, and lifting consistently, you know, is really where your mind should be at. You know, don't get too far into the fucking shit, because you're just gonna get your mind all fucked up. You know, leave that for serious lifters and stuff, you know, when it comes to cortisol and shit. I know I'm still kind of reading up on that too, but just based on what I quickly read, you know, as long as, you know, I get home, I eat, I fucking nap, you know, the levels should be, the cortisol level should come down. But, you know, that's something for professional bodybuilders and trainers and guys who know the fucking science behind this shit, you know. Most of us are just trying to fucking look good naked, you know. Sure, I might want to compete someday, but it's certainly not something I'm gonna fucking put my mind with right now, you know. My main thing is, you know, am I healthy? Am I producing enough testosterone to accomplish my goals and be healthy and be mindful and all that shit, right? So, yeah, I wouldn't worry about too much about that, guys, because you might hear about that term, cortisol, so. Yeah, so, what's basically, how I want to finish this video is basically, if you guys are having questions or, you know, sex drive problems or libido problems, unfortunately, you know, which really fucking sucks, that we need a prescription to get testosterone. It sucks big time. It's fucking bullshit. You know, it's you know, that we can't buy, you know, a substance that our body produces naturally anyway. You know, it's horse shit. So if you're in the same boat as I am, and, you know, you've lost the weight, you know, and you're working out and dieting, exercising properly, and you find you're still, you know, it's fine, it's still low, then my only suggestion is just stick with it and have your testosterone tested, you know, periodically to see where you're at, you know. But unfortunately, you know, there's not really a lot of options for us, you know. Just like I said, the best thing is it's to lift heavy shit, you know, heavy deadlifts, heavy squats, you know, no sugar and carbs. Definitely no sugar. You know, if you're gonna eat lots of carbs, make sure you're in the gym lifting. You know, but if you're not one of those guys who, you know, doesn't want to get in the gym, I would say stay away from the carbs. I would say keto is probably your best bet for your sex drive and testosterone and that. Now, I'm sure there's people, the experts out there in testosterone or fucking whatever, are gonna maybe say something else. You might read something else online. I'm just basically telling you what I've done and what I've felt for myself, what's made a difference. And like I said, the testosterone specialist I went to see, you know, she didn't fucking say anything. All she said was eat clean, no sugar, lift heavy weight, you know, which I was already doing, you know. But she didn't say, oh, go buy Muscle Tech fucking testosterone booster and all that fucking shit. She didn't fucking say that. You know, so if you're still having problems, if you're still, you know, having problems, you know, doing everything right, you know, then just go to your doctor and say, give me some of that. You know, I'm not sure, you know. You know, I meant to ask her about the, when I talked to the doctor, this testosterone specialist. I didn't know at the time about testosterone spiking, so I didn't have a chance to ask her about it. But you would think that she would have mentioned it. Says, no, Scott, listen, okay, I know your levels are only 200 or a little under 200, but don't worry, you know, different times of the day, it'll go up to 600 or 700. You know, she didn't mention any of that friggin' shit. Now, maybe it was my fault that I didn't press her for that information, but yeah. So as far as low testosterone, the worst thing you can do is no exercise, lots of sugar, lots of carbs. That's the worst thing you can do. To improve your testosterone, in my experience, lift heavy weight, you know, stay away from the sugar, moderate carbs. You know, I think that no carbs at all are even better for testosterone production, based on how I feel. You know, so, but you know, if after I get a year of training under my belt, you know, and like I've definitely put on some muscle since I've been training. That's very evident. You know, but whenever you start a new weightlifting program and change the way you eat, you're always going to make really good gains in the beginning, you know, regardless. It's how far you can take that naturally is the question, right? So hopefully this has been a little bit informative for you. But, you know, like, don't fret, you know, like, don't get, just because you got low test doesn't mean that you know, you can't function properly. You can, you know, maybe not as optimal as, you know, a young man who's in 25 or something like that, or 20 in his peak. You know, but if you're in my situation and you're running and your test levels are around 200 like mine, I can tell you with confidence that, you know, if you do what I do, you're going to feel really good and you're not going to have any problems. You know, even though I have those Viagra on standby, I don't really think they're necessary right now, but I keep them there just in case, you know. But I don't have any problems with an erection or anything like that right now, or sex drive, you know. So, and that's at a low test level, so I wouldn't be concerned about it. As long as you're doing what I'm doing, you should be fine. You know, the worst thing to do is you know, to especially if you're in a relationship, you know, to be in denial about that kind of stuff, you know. You know, it's not fair to yourself. It's not fair to, if you're involved with a woman, it's not fair to her at all either. You know, with, you know, if your testosterone's really low, you're gonna be depressed. You know, you're not gonna feel confident. You know, it's gonna affect your life very seriously. It's gonna affect your life as much as fucking having a drug problem or you know, or anything else. Like, you have to fucking, it's one of those things you have to look after, you know, because it's gonna affect you and the people around you, and you know, it's important to get that checked out, guys. Okay, that's it for this rant. It's hard to definitely decode all the information on the internet. most, I guess I'll be talking to the ladies right now, because the guys are gonna be looking at this shit. It's the wives and the girlfriends that'll be reading up on their men's low testosterone. You know, it's a lot of information to kind of sort through and figure out. You know, do I take fucking bee pollen or Wyoming or fucking all this other fucking natural shit to increase the testosterone? You know, my thoughts on that are, you know, like I said, if there was anything that would increase that, the doctor would prescribe it. So that's my views on it. So I think everything else is just kind of witchcraft and, you know, bullshit studies to sell lots of pills and shit that don't even work. But that's my opinion. I don't think you should waste too much time filling your head with a lot of nonsense out there, you know. But yeah, that's it. That's all I gotta say. So I'll see you guys again. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and God bless yous all. Take care, guys.
I know you look the other way. I know you long for something new.